Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Hanukkah. It's nice and cold, so there's hot chocolate under the gazebo. Thank you all for joining us. We're starting in a couple of minutes, just setting up the menorah. There has been a donut misfunction, so the donut's got held up in Stamford Hill. So if you want a donut, you have to come back to the shul afterwards, and you're all invited. If anyone doesn't know, you just go up the road, turn right on Churchill's number 20. So you're all invited back to the shul for some hot food afterwards. And we will be outdoors in a marquee, so it's COVID safe. So we're going to start in a couple of moments. Have some hot chocolate, warm your kishkas, and thank you all for joining us.
There is this really bad like, not on the guitar, on the mic. No, just I think it's just I don't think it's connected well. Yeah.
Okay, sorry about the hissing. Okay, can everyone hear me? Good, because I've lost my voice. Good evening, everyone. Happy Hanukkah, Hanukkah Sameach. Freilich Hanukkah for the Yiddish speakers. Thank you for joining us. This is now the third annual Woodford Menorah lighting. The first one 2 years ago was well attended. Last year's was only online because of COVID, and here we are back again in person. As we said earlier, followed by a COVID-safe party back at the shul. Hope you'll all join us. We're not going to have lots of speeches. I'll speak for about 5 minutes. We'll hear a few words from Rabbi Safran, then we'll light the menorah, and we'll hear some music from Rafi. A huge thank you to all those. I just turned up, but Howard's been here since 5 o'clock. Howard and Greg setting up the menorah early in the week. This beautiful menorah that stands over the North Circular, that's seen by thousands of people every day. A big thank you to my wife. Big thank you to my wife and all the helpers back at the shul. Can you hear me? Okay. Big thank you to my wife, all the helpers back at the shul, to Rabbi Safran, who started this whole trend of menorah lightings, and to everyone else. Hello? Hello? Yes, we're back. Okay, I better speak quickly before the microphone gives up. So it costs money to put up menorahs. It costs money to put up marquees in shuls. A huge thank you to all of our sponsors, many of whom amazingly wanted to stay anonymous, but to those who gave specific dedications, to the Chief Rabbi's Center for Community Excellence, to the Rosenberg family in memory of Moshe ben Yitzhak and Fegel Rochel ben Nechaskel, to the Benden family to mark the yahrzeit of Yosef ben Yisrael and Yitzhak ben Yeshua, to Malcolm Markovich in memory of his mother, to mark the first yahrzeit of Arav Yeshaya Mordechai Diamond. We thank Osem for sponsoring the food in memory of our dear friend Eli Batashvili, Zichron Livracha, in loving memory of their parents from the Safas. from the Tiller family, from the Rainsburys in memory of Julian's mother, Ross Friedman in memory of his mother, and from the Markovich family to say Mazel Tov on the new Menorah, Stephen, Amanda and family. Thank you everyone for your very generous sponsorship, just made it possible to do this event. Okay, just a few very quick words. We also very warm welcome to colleagues, to community members, to members of the wider interfaith community and civic representatives that are here tonight. It's so hard to see everyone in the crowd, so I'm not going to name everyone, but a big thank you to everyone that's come along tonight to support this event. It's gone again. It's obviously a sign from heaven that I should stop talking. Okay. Just want to say one more thing. When I stood here 2 years ago, it was just after the election where Jeremy Corbyn had been the leader of the Labour Party. There was a lot of anxiety in this country, and I remember that there'd been a terrorist attack the week before, and we said that even in 2019, we still sometimes have to live in fear. Sadly, many of you will know that last week, a wonderful young man called Eli Kay was murdered on his way to the Kotel to pray the morning prayers. And Eli's father, Avi Kay, who is a son-in-law of Rabbi Shlomo Levine, who many of you will know, is a wonderful rabbi, a mentor of mine. It was his grandson that very sadly was murdered. And Avi Kay sent a voice note around to rabbis around the world as follows. He said, I know many of you will talk about my son in Shul this Shabbos in your sermons, and you'll want to take inspiration from his life. I ask you one thing, whatever you say, please be happy, please be positive, please spread light. Please do not say anything negative. Don't be sad and don't mourn. I want us to celebrate Eli's life. And to me, that is the message of Hanukkah. Tonight is the 5th night. It's the first night that we have a majority of light on the menorah. 5 out of 8. That's whatever percent that is. So we have a majority of light. We know that light dispels a lot of darkness. A little light in the world goes a long way to getting rid of darkness. And that's the message of Hanukkah. It's a universal message. It's one of the reasons that we put up menorahs in public places to bring that message to everyone. So I think I've said enough. Thank you for joining us. The message of Hanukkah is that on these cold, dark nights, a little light can do a tremendous amount to warm everyone up. Just before we light the menorah, I'll hand over to Rabbi Safran, Senior Rabbi, Executive Director of Chabad North East London, Essex, very dear friend and colleague, for a few words. Good evening, everyone. Go this way. Welcome, Rabbi, and welcome. It's a great pleasure to see you all. You just heard the fine words from Rabbi Wallenberg. It's for all of you to put your hands together for Rabbi and Mr. Wallenberg for the great work that they do here in this community. We're very privileged and honored to be able to be part of this Chabad North East London, Essex, with 9 lightings this year, and you have a new menorah here this year, which is only a miniature, please God, of what will be here on a permanent basis over Hanukkah, hopefully by next year, but at least from the North Circular, look what they were able to see. It's a tremendous effort for Pasumei Nisa, which is what Hanukkah is all about, spreading the light. This is what the Lubavitcher Rebbe as a Pussy Yogan Olena wanted us to do in order to give people the opportunity for Jewish pride. And if you look around and you see people's faces when they see a menorah car going by, they see menorahs in stores and in public places, it really gives them the opportunity and the real deep feeling of Jewish pride. And sometimes we tend to hide it. And the real way of fighting anti-Semitism is to be really Jewish and really to be proud of who we are. Rabbi Wallenberg just mentioned about an incident very sad, tragic incident in Israel. But last week, do you know that in this country, in Oxford Street, a coach load of Jewish children enjoying Hanukkah with their rabbi was attacked on Oxford Street just for being Jewish. Nothing to do with Israel. No flags of Israel. They were enjoying themselves as Jewish kids being taken by the rabbi around London in a bus. And they were attacked for being Jewish, no other reasons. And that usually, or very often, the response is that we need to hide away. And the answer to anti-Semitism is to come out in public and to be Jewish and to be proud of who we are. There's one thing I just want to share with you about the menorah, which you're going to see in a minute. We're first going to light the shamus, which Rabbi Wallenberg is going to direct this in a moment.
And the Shamas light, which is the servant candle, the one in the middle, is used to light the others. What's the significance of that? You know, when we do a mitzvah, a good deed, sometimes we do it for ulterior motives, because we like it, it's enjoyable, it's exciting. The Shamas teaches us that we use this candle to light the others, to teach us that we should try and find a mitzvah, a good deed that we do for no other reason other than for the essence of doing something which the Almighty wants us to do. To do a mitzvah because we enjoy it, that's great, that's okay, and it's fine. But sometimes we need to find to do something just because it's the right thing to do. And tonight, this is just the right thing to do, to be here with us, celebrating Hanukkah in this way. So, thank you very much, Rabbi Wallenberg, who's going to carry on with the services here together. Delighted that our colleague, Rabbi and Mrs. Bramman, are here with their family, and others of the leadership of Chabad. It's great to see you, and we wish this community continued growth. And please God, next year, that baby menorah is going to grow, so it'll be as big as the others around their sex. Happy Hanukkah. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Rabbi Safran. Just before we continue, a huge thank you particularly to the police who are here tonight to protect us, all that they do for our community. And, you know, sometimes when we're speaking as rabbis, when we speak to police officers, sometimes they say that in some communities they like them to be low key. I always tell the Jewish community we appreciate a peace presence. We are very appreciative of the support they give to our community events like tonight. So a big thank you to them. God bless them. May they stay safe and well. Also to our CST volunteers that are helping us tonight. In a moment, we're going to light the menorah. We're also going to switch on the fifth light on the electric menorah. Then we're going to ask Rafi to lead Ma'asor and a few more songs. Then we'll basically conclude. So hopefully you're not too freezing cold. And we have with us a very dear colleague, somebody who is a very special gentleman indeed, Yusuf Patel, MBE, right, MBE, who got an award for his interfaith work. Yusuf is the Director of Faith Relations for Redbridge Council, a very dear friend to the Jewish community. He's worked for Maccabi in the past, works closely with CST. He's now Governor of King Solomon, representing the local education authority, and generally a friend to faith communities in general, and particularly to the Jewish community, and to many of us here, including Rabbi Safran and myself. So it gives me great pleasure. I think it's very appropriate, Yusuf, as somebody who is a public servant, to invite you to come and to light the shamash, the candle that lights all the other candles, symbolizing the work that you and your colleagues do. And we thank you for all that you do for our communities and the wider community, who wish you success. And we look forward to many years of partnership. After that, we were hoping to have with us Woodford Forest Woman of the Year, who is Jeanette Jacobs, who's done so much for our community in the past year. Very sadly, Robin lost his mother yesterday, and he started shiver today. So Robin and Jeanette couldn't be with us, and we're very sorry. We hope to have an opportunity to honor her in the future. We think because of COVID, the simplest thing is going to be if we honor Rabbi Safran to light the menorah. Also, he knows how to work the torch. So we'll ask Yusuf to light the shamash, and then we'll ask Rabbi Safran to light the menorah. And but before we do that, of course, we need to light the shamash. You'll say properly. Okay, so Rabbi Safran will say the brachas. We're going to ask Rabbi Bramman, because he's tall, he can reach. We're going to ask Rabbi Bramman to light the actual menorah. So Rabbi Safran will say the brachas. Yosef will light the shamash. And Rabbi Bramman will light the menorah. And then Rafi will lead us in Ma'asor and some other songs. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvosav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim l'avoseinu Vayomim ahei bezman
Nazeh.
We're going to ask Rafi to lead us in the first verse of Mark Torah, which hopefully you all know by heart, and then some other classic Hanukkah songs as well. Patrick.
Yeshua si nefana nishadeya sikom tefila nisham toidan izadeya yetafin beya nitzam nabeya azek mor b'shmim mizmor Tanika Samizbeya Mazek Mor B'Shim Mizmor Tanika Samizbeya Tanuka come like a Menorah. Let's have a party, love and horror. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Everyone today with a lot of sweet. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One point night they share, light to remind us the days that will go. 1.5 they share, sweet light to remind us the days that will go. Everyone sub Tanuka, Tato, Tanuka, Tato, everyone sub Tanuka, Haola, Adolayasha, Tanuka, Haola. Ahani Simbiala, Ukambea, Uro, Biala, Tuoki, Amil Kamosha, Sisalabe, Kaya, Ahema, Ahani Simbiala, Ukan, Biala, Guru, Biala, Tuoki, Amil Kamosha, Sisalabe, Kaya, Ahema, Nisimia la bukan, dia la gura, dia la juot, yami tamasha, sisa la bisenu, kayami mai basmanade. Nisimia la bukan, dia la juot, yami tamasha, sisa la bisenu, kayami mai basmanade. Ahani Simbiya Rabkan Yala Guru Yala Kami Hamosha Sisabis Ayami Mai Babanate Ahani Simbiya Rabkan Yala Guru Yala Kami Hamosha Sisabis Ayami Mai Babanate Ahani Simbiya la bukan, dia la gura, dia la jual, I'll tell. You have to be in the jar. And the Greeks try to sell. When you thought to know about. Yeah, when you went on until the mighty Greeks were gone. Yeah, I feel my luck is in the air sometimes, saying no in the radio. Just wanna celebrate for all they night, saying no like the candle. We say our hearts sing, oh yeah, for all the night, and we play Jesus by the candlelight. 'Cause I told you once, now I told you twice, by the miracle of the candlelight. It's a my father with me. Not never driving out the city, yeah. On until the mighty Greeks were gone. Yeah, I've lived my life in the air sometimes, saying it, spin the cradle. Just wanna celebrate for all late nights, saying it, light the candles. We say my old too, oh yeah, for all late nights, and we play Dreidel by the candlelight. 'Cause I told you once, now I told you twice, about the miracle of the candlelight and the great menorah. The 8 days you kept on burning. What a celebration that they returned to Torah land. Feeling, Nisgadol, 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 Ayasham, Nisgadol, Ayasham, Nisgadol, Ayasham. I feel my luck is in the air sometimes, saying it in the cradle. Just wanna celebrate for all the nights, saying it like the candles. We say our honey sim, oh yeah, for all late nights, and we play Dreidel by the candlelight. 'Cause I told you once, now I told you twice, about the miracle of the candlelight.
Fantastic.
Huge thank you to Rafi. And for those who enjoyed his music, which I hope is everyone, he'll be playing back at the shul as well. So, Charles, a huge thank you to Rafi. I know that along with other communities, when you ask Rafi if he can come and sing and play, the answer is, what time do you want me? He's extremely obliging. He shares this gift with other people. For his bar mitzvah, he tried to get as many people to smile as possible. And he got a few smiles tonight as well. So, have a round of applause for Rafi Sanford. Thank you. Okay, and everyone's too British and polite to say that their toes are freezing, but I see people are slowly freezing. So we're basically going to call it a night out here. We've got the menorah will stay up, of course, for the rest of the week. Once again, a huge thank you to all the volunteers, to all the rabbis, to all the guests, to the CST, the police, everyone who did all the food. And once again, a huge special thank you to Howard and Greg for basically single-handedly putting up all the menorahs that you see. So a round of applause for all the volunteers, especially Howard and Greg. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. You're almost welcome to come back to the shore for some hot food, some kids' activities, and some more music. You don't know where it is, just follow the crowd. Thank you very much. And once again, a very happy Hanukkah. Thank you.